Every year, Science's reporters and editors choose 9 runners-up and 1 breakthrough of the year. But before we get to the breakthrough, here are a few of the runners-up. Fast radio bursts, short, powerful flashes of radio waves from distant galaxies, have tantalized astronomers for 13 years. Now, cosmic detectives have figured out where they come from. Magnetars, neutron stars that fizzle and pop with powerful magnetic fields. In April, an FRB went off in the Milky Way. Researchers quickly narrowed the source to a small area of sky, and using powerful telescopes, they quickly linked it to a single magnetar. Stay tuned for a sequel as researchers try to understand exactly how the magnetars produce these radio bursts. Since the revolutionary gene editing tool known as CRISPR burst onto the scene in 2012, it's given researchers new power to engineer crops and animals, stirred ethical debates, and earned a Nobel Prize. Now, it scored its first victory in a clinical trial. It helped patients with 2 inherited blood diseases, beta thalassemia, where low levels of an oxygen-carrying protein called hemoglobin lead to weakness and exhaustion, and sickle cell disease, caused by a defective form of the same protein. To treat sickle cell disease, researchers used CRISPR to make the body produce the fetal form of hemoglobin. But the CRISPR approach could cost $1 million or more per patient, putting it out of reach for many. Their eyes are beady and their brains no bigger than a walnut. But 2 studies published this year suggest birds have amazing mental powers. Scientists took a closer look at the forebrain of homing pigeons and owls and found nerves there that connect horizontally and vertically. This is similar to the matrix of connections seen in the human neocortex, the source of our occasionally incredible intelligence. Another study suggested that carrion crows, already well known for their brains, are aware of what they see and do. This could mean that some form of consciousness was present in our last common ancestor, 320 million years ago. More than 40,000 years ago, on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, a prehistoric Picasso ventured deep into a cave and sketched a series of fantastic animal-headed hunters cornering wild hogs and buffaloes. It's possible that the artist was depicting the hunters wearing masks or camouflage, but they may also represent mythical animal-human hybrids, which appear in other ancient works of art. The age of the paintings makes them the earliest known figurative art made by modern humans. And now, the breakthrough of the year. Not 1, not 2, but multiple COVID-19 vaccines have now succeeded in large human clinical trials, a mere 11 months after the first sequencing of SARS-CoV-2. Vaccines have already been deployed in the UAE, the United Kingdom, and now the United States. The 2 vaccines at the forefront of this wave, which use messenger RNA to carry the genetic code for the coronavirus spike protein, reported an amazing efficacy, roughly 95%. But other approaches, like using inactivated cold viruses to shuttle the spike protein, or harmless versions of the virus itself, could also soon make their way to market. Never before have so many competitors collaborated so openly, and never before have governments, businesses, and institutions all around the world poured this much money and manpower into the hunt for a vaccine. But even as this research has yielded remarkable results, the pandemic also marks a breakdown in communication, public trust, and a sense of shared reality. That has transformed the deadly threat of COVID-19 into something far worse. As of mid-December, more than 1.6 million people have died globally of complications from COVID-19, with more than 300,000 deaths in the United States alone. Science has delivered an exit strategy through effective vaccines, but human behavior has been, and continues to be, the most important variable in shaping our path forward.